Hello folks, this is John out here again by myself today. Riding around another one of my old stomping grounds. Right now I'm riding out around the bypass of my hometown, Mount Hope, West Virginia. Try to get across the street here. This is actually Kilsite, West Virginia. It's on the south end of Mount Hope. And I want to come out here and see if I can find something. Throughout the Appalachian Mountains, just about every place that I've been, you can find natural springs, water just pouring out of the mountain, and it is right at the top of the best water that you can find. I would imagine that's why, you know, back in the day, the Appalachian Mountains, the Smoky Mountains, is a huge place. I guess ground zero for the moonshine industry back in the day, and still today, actually. And there's a spring out here. At least, that's the dogs. At least there was when I was a kid. I'm going to run out here and see if I can still find it. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, this place is right in, actually it's in a floodplain, and like a lot of small West Virginia towns, this little community called Kilsite and Mount Hope both was ground zero for the coal boom back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. But a lot of the coal mines have moved out, and we're left with these small, dwindling towns. We'll get to that in a minute, but somewhere out here along this road, there's a very unique spring. And if there was ever anything wrong with the city water, you know, through flooding or whatnot, people would come out here and camp, whatever the case may be. There was this water source up here that everybody loved to get water out of. I wanted to show everybody. This might be something that Ponce de Leon found in Florida. But like I said, they're littered throughout West Virginia, and they'll be around major roads. This is just a little country road back in the woods. Here we are. This is used so often, they've even built a bridge here. Oh. Let me show you how this works. I brought a hydro flask. So you just drive up, cross this bridge, and this water just runs straight out of the hill, and it is good drinking water. I mean, that is about as clear as you can get. I'm gonna taste it. Oh my goodness. I wish I could share with you just how good this water tastes. It's kind of in a funky spot. But yeah, they put a pipe in there so that you can get to it in a nice little place. But I don't know if you can see down in there, but boy, it's just as clear as anything. Nothing floating. Smell, no smell. And it's cold. And this is the type of thing that moonshiners would look for. And like I said, West Virginia's full of them. We get so much rain throughout the year, and those springs are everywhere. Somebody pulling over there, maybe he's gonna get some. Anyway, here we go. Oh, this little place on back through here is actually called Oswald. I was trying to think of the name of it as I was riding out. But yeah, that guy was getting out of his truck. He was going to go fill up his jug with water. Boy, that's good stuff. It's almost worth driving all the way out here just to get some of it. For those of you that saw, I don't know, 3 or 4 videos ago that I posted riding into my dad's family farm, their church and everything, their house was actually supplied with water from a natural spring just like that. The head of the spring came out, and I imagine that's why they built the house where they did. But the head of the spring came out right beside the kitchen. And before plumbing was put into that house, they would be able just to go out. And what they did is they dug a little hole, I don't know, about chest deep, about 5 feet deep. Put some rock around it, a top and a door, so that, critters and things couldn't get in there. But they could just step right outside the kitchen and get a bucket of that nice spring water for the house, for cooking, bathing, washing your hands, drinking, whatever you need it for. And that's how a lot of these farmhouses got put where they got put, because they put them, close to a spring like that. And, both of my grandparents' farms were loaded with springs. There's springs that came out of the mountains. They feed the watering troughs for the cattle, and just all kinds of uses around the farm for them. But pretty unique. Like I said, here in the Appalachian Mountains, you can find a spring about wherever you go. I watch a lot of these survivor shows on Discovery Channel or whatever those channels are, and they're always looking for water. Well, it's not hard to find around here. Nice clean water. Anyway, back to the ride. I wanted to get a little bit of water. I was drove down here today, a couple-hour drive. I was getting pretty thirsty, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go back there and check out that spring, get some good water. And it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was going to ride through the opposite way through town, but we'd be looking into the sun. So I decided to come around and go in from this end. This is the southern end of the town. And we're back out at Kill Site. Mount Hope is just on the other side of this road. Now, I said Mount Hope and Kill Site was ground zero for the mining industry. If you look straight ahead, that's the entrance to a mine right there, right beside the road. It's been filled in. People used to climb up in there. They filled it in now, but yeah. So now we're entering Mount Hope. Mount Hope, this little area through here is known for its smokeless coal. You know, all the environmentalists out there talk about how dirty coal is. Well, this is smokeless coal, and for some reason they stopped digging it years ago. But this stuff will burn, and it releases no smoke. There's no smell, no smoke to it, and it's okay for the environment. Get this across. Here it is, New River smokeless coal. I've actually got a little thing here where you can see the seam of it. I don't know if it's dark enough. It might be too dark to see with the camera, but that's a little seam of coal right there. And up here at the top, it says famous New River smokeless coal. But that's what the area is known for. And over here across the street, they've got some stuff you can read about the smokeless coal industry. There's a big lump of coal over there. Back when I was a kid, Mount Hope used to be pretty busy. And now, there's very few people left in Mount Hope. Let's see. Yeah, here little things where they talk about the coal, different coal companies, the history. We call this the National Coal Heritage Area. But you can read all about the mines, mine safety, smokeless coal, and all that stuff. But like I said, you know, back in the early 1900s, Mount Hope was one of the biggest towns around. And once the coal industry kind of faded away right here, I'm afraid one of these days it's going to be a ghost town, and there's going to be no town here. And when I went to school here, we had all the schools, the elementary, middle school, high school, and I graduated from Mountain Hope High School. Little by little, they started combining them with Oak Hill, another town just down the road from here. And now there's no schools in town. And when there's no schools in town, it generally doesn't want younger people. It's not a very good catalyst for bringing in younger people with kids. So, you know, Mount Hope now is made up mostly of retirees, maybe the older generation, maybe from about my generation on, maybe, I don't know. But not too many people moving in here. Things are moving out. We used to have an AIDS department store. Now it's an antique. You could buy clothes and things. It's an antique shop. Mount Hope Theater. It's been for sale for 30 years. That's where I used to go see my first movies when I was a kid. There's always something magical about the local movie theaters. I used to be able to walk down to the theater when I was in middle school, but there's just not a whole lot left. They've got the bank, Mount Hope City Building, Bonbons. This was here back in the early 1900s. The show American Pickers actually came and picked this store. It's been closed for a number of years, but I used to go in there after school, and this is the middle school. It was made up of 4 buildings, and 2 of them are torn down. One of them burnt. I think maybe 2 of them burned down, but they were down here. They're gone now. Before let's see. You know what? Let's go out this way. Out through here is what they would call Stadium Terrace Apartments. And it's a government subsidized apartment complex, housing authority. I actually live, or we used to live, way up here on this hill. Way over here to our right, way up on top of a hill. But out here is our football stadium. Used to be when we had Mount Hope High School. Mount Hope High School is not around anymore. It's part of Oak Hill High School. And I'm not sure when this football stadium was built. It was built a long time ago. Kind of looks like a castle. As you can see, these apartments just keep on going out through here. They used to go on out, but they've torn a bunch of them down and sold the property. Used to be a place I'd come down and play basketball and tennis when I was a kid. There's a football stadium straight ahead of us. And yeah, back in the day, these are all the championships that our track and football team won. A lot of history here. A lot of history, and it's kind of fallen by the wayside. The last time I was here, I did find out that they are still using the football field, and they're using it for I don't know what they call it, pee-wee football, I guess. This used to be the Bureau of Mines, part of MSHA, Mine Safety Health Administration. And I can see that it's closed now. That building's for sale. There's just most of the buildings around here are empty, for sale, or they've torn them down. All up here on the left, this used to be a machine shop where they would build and repair all of the mining equipment. My neighbor, older gentleman, he was the boss there. It looks like they may still do some of that work. I don't know. Looks like they might still do a little bit of that work. It doesn't look as active as it used to, though. This building, this was pretty neat. This was the New River Company store If you remember back there, they talked about the New River smokeless coal. New River was the coal company. This was one of their company stores where the miners would come and buy all their food and clothing, all the supplies they needed for home and work. It's now a church. Glorious Church of God in Christ. I think this is still part of some of that mining repair. Right up here on the left it was the Mountaineer Hotel. It was one of the most lavish hotels in the area. We had governors and presidents that have been in that hotel way back in the day. JFK actually came to Mount Hope when he was running for president. And some of the businesses have pictures of when he was here. But that place wasn't even opened when I was a kid back in the 70s and 80s, so it's in private hands, and people keep saying they're going to fix it up. But I don't know if anything's been done much to it. Like I said, with population going down in this town, there's not a whole lot of reason to fix it up, honestly. Head on down through Mount Hope. This place, there used to be people on the street any time of the day when I was in school back in the 80s. And now it almost looks like a ghost town. You don't see anybody outside. This right through here used to be all kinds of buildings, hardware stores, all kinds of stores, and they've torn all the buildings down. It looks so different. Right here used to be a stoplight. That was the one stoplight we had in town. And they took that out, I think, when I was in high school back in the 80s, mid-80s sometime. So, you can see Mount Hope's not the biggest town in the world. We're actually heading out of city limits now, or town limits. This is the north side of town. And up here is something a little interesting. They have Native American burial mounds here. You can see it's kind of grown up looking. But yeah, that's a Native American mound, burial mound. And when I was younger, we didn't even know that that was there. Not until about the 90s or something did they actually clean it up and put some stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, these signs are talking about early school life. The school that we passed in town, where I said was the middle school, used to be, before segregation, used to be the white high school. And then right over through these little woods right here was the African American school. And when they ended segregation, they actually brought the white students into the African American school, which at the time was called Du Bois High School, after W.E. Du Bois. And it actually had it was a fairly new building, but it was had a state-of-the-art science department, and was thought of being the best science department in the state at the time when it was Du Bois. And And I'm going to ride out this way. This will actually be the back of the school. The school is actually 2-story, but from this back side it only looks like 1 story. So I have to cross this bridge. Years ago, it would have been pretty dangerous to ride out on these roads, but there's such little bit of traffic, it's not too bad now. But this is the back of my old high school. It used to be Du Bois High School, then it was changed to Mount Hope High School. Now it's closed. We're all with Oak Hill High School now. But anyway, that was a quick tour of Mount Hope. Some of the points of interest, and hope you enjoyed the ride. Just wanted to get out and ride through, see if that natural spring was still accessible, which it is. It's still got that good water. But anyway, this is where we stop. Let me get off. Take a quick look. Look at my old high school. And this was a shop, the Votech Center, right here on the back. It's fairly new compared to the rest of the building. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the little tour of Mount Hope. My little talk about smokeless coal, Indian burial mounds, and the spring. Anyway, hope everybody has a good day. Until we see you next time, God bless, and we'll see you on the next video.